that VBRN really taught me to use the fact that I'm a veteran and take that and run with it. And, combined with Keller Williams, well, they also told me to try to push this, and that's how I created Homefront Properties Group. And have a couple of veterans on our team as well, a Navy and an Army veteran as well. I'm a Marine Corps vet, and from 2002 to 2006, under Operation Rapid Freedom. I'm looking forward to being a sponsor here, and if anybody needs anything, just reach out.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. And thanks for your support as always. If anybody wants to support our mission as a sponsor, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. Please let me know. Be happy to have a conversation. I wanted to kind of now discuss our, the Philly Veteran of the Year Award. This is an award that goes out every year. It typically gets announced at our Veteran Shark Tank. So at our Veteran Shark Tank, we announced that this year, but we couldn't do it because we were virtual. And so this year we decided to do it at our VBRN for December. So the award was first started in 2015 and 16. We've had a kind of a slew of winners that are familiar faces, from Kyle White to as well as Walt from PwC, to John New, to Erica Webster. And what regards the award, what is the award is really more about what is a Philly vet. So a Philly vet is really somebody that goes above and beyond what their job entails and engages with the community to connect veterans aside from their own responsibility to really be the best at connecting relationships and growing relationships. So those that not only excel at their job, but really go above and beyond service. So at this point, last year, one of the people that deserved the award was not available for us and was a big supporter of us. He passed. His name was John Titus. Some of you may have known him with Comcast. And he was one that's been involved with our organization since its inception. And he grew up the ranks, went all the way up right under the president for one of the divisions of Comcast, but continued to come down to help us with a lot of incidental stuff, and really was truly a person of passion for our community, for the veteran base, but also really excelled at the job that he did at Comcast and growing Comcast to where it is today within his division. So last year we renamed the award to the John Titus Philly Vets Award, and there's no better person this year to deserve it than Mike Brown from Villanova University. So, with a round of applause, I want everybody to kind of give a thumbs up, give a little bit of an applause to the person that truly deserves it. And I'm going to turn over to Mike, and he'll share a little bit about what he does. But what Mike has done on a personal note is not just grown something almost from scratch, but you've seen him in the veteran space. You've seen him go above and beyond to connect the dots, to really help the community, help our Philadelphia community strive to be the best at veteran service, at veteran growth, veteran business. He does business with veteran-owned companies at Villanova. He connects people to work together offline. He takes time to serve on different committees. So, Mike, I'm honored that you can join us today and receive this, John Titus Philly Vets of the Year Award.
Well, thanks for having me, Alex. And it's an honor to receive an award in John's name. I know John was a person of great character, and character certainly matters. And so I'm really honored to be given an award in his name. And really, when I think of, this award, it's not something that I do or I have done differently. It's something I always do. I think there's real power in collaboration and relationships. And those are the two things that are driving forces in my life professionally. So what that means for me is, at Villanova, I have the power of the V behind me. So using that logo and that brand, I think for good is something that I will continue to do no matter what, because everyone knows the V, whether you're in Philly or in San Francisco or wherever you are around the world. And I think that's an opportunity for me to use that for good. So what that looks like is, you know, when we had an example of that is we had the video warrior class that we recently pushed out. And I know some of you saw that video, and professors and students asked me, you know, for some people who would, you know, present good stories. And, you know, what I thought would be best is to include the community at large, not just Villanovans. And so for me, that shows that our community and our our Philadelphia Veteran Network is an amazing people who have fantastic stories worth telling. So that's, you know, just something that, you know, is very meaningful to me. When I got to Villanova, we had one student veteran on campus who was an undergraduate student. We have 25 today, and that number is going to continue to grow. We have people who are, Chad Allen is a student at Villanova now. So it's something that, you know, I take very seriously and I'm very passionate about. But I think without people like Alex, who sort of pushes me and you know, mentors me a little bit, but also encourages me to use this place at Villanova for good and for the community. So I really appreciate that. And some of the things that have helped me since I've got there is asking for assistance, for help, brainstorming sessions for people that are outside of my immediate circles, and talking to people like folks from St. Joe's or Drexel or other schools that are, you know, quote unquote competitors in the space, but looking at what they do and their best practices and learning from them, I think is an important step and something that we can all learn from and do. And then a specific thanks to Patrick Murphy. And so when I got to Philadelphia in 2006, I was just a young enlisted Army infantry NCO getting out of the military and graduating from college. And I got out here, and what he did is he took a chance on me. I was not qualified to be his director of anything. And he took a chance and said, you know what, I think I'd like to make you my director of military and veterans affairs as a congressman. And so what I think that is a lesson for me is it's okay to take a chance, and it's worth taking a chance on veterans, because at the end of the day, they are willing to learn, they're willing to grow. And that's something that he did. And that's something I'll always, you know, sort of hold near and dear to me, is he took that chance on me, and it really gave me the confidence to be able to be where I am today. And so I really appreciate his support and others. You know, Mike Gabriel's here, and he's someone who worked with me at Pat's office, and together we did awesome things. So I really appreciate his collaboration as well. And again, thanks for this award. It's really meaningful to me as a human being and as a professional, obviously. And I appreciate all the support Alex and the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network has shown me so far. Thanks.
Thanks, Michael, for leading from the front. And, you know, we've collaborated with speed interviewing on campus as well. So just kind of spearheading how we can all collaborate together as you all work in businesses by yourself. You know, don't look at 2021 as an opportunity to learn collaboration and how to work together with other organizations. So thank you, Mike. So John, I'll hand it back to you.
All right, congratulations, Mike. We're going to run into, you know, doing the 30-second pitches. And just as a reminder, Ashley is a vicious timer. And all you're going to do is cover your name, what service you were in, your current role in business, referrals you need, referrals you've given, and then your name, and be done. All that in under 30 seconds. And I'm going to let Matt give you a view of what that looks like. Hopefully Matt's on. He's not on my screen, but I think I saw him dial in. Matt, you there?
I'm here.
All right, when you and Ashley are ready, you can show everybody what that looks like.
All right. So my name is Matthew Verney, United States Marine Corps. I'm a commercial banker. So what I do is I try to find businesses that need help with banking products, whether it's loans, deposits, credit cards. A good lead for me is really any business owner what I can do for you is I have a good network of obviously all types of businesses, accountants, and attorneys. So look forward to chatting with everybody. And John, thanks so much for the leadership on this.
Nicely done, Matt. I'm just going to go down my screen. That's probably the easiest way for me to organize. Mike Brown was first, so I think we can give you another shot at it, Mike.
I think people at this point know, but my name is Mike Brown. I'm an Army veteran. I am the director of the Office of Veterans and Military Service Members at Villanova University. And referrals I need or have given, I think, if you need education in any sense, whether that be a certificate program or an MBA or an undergraduate, we are here to meet your needs. And Chris, who's on this call with us, Chris Katsapis at Villanova, can really help you with that process. Again, my name is Mike Brown, Villanova University, and go Army, beat Navy.
All right, thanks, Mike. Justin Fishman.
Hey, sorry about that. How you doing, everyone? My name is Justin Fishman, United States Navy. I'm currently with Wharton Capital. We are a private equity firm focused in commercial real estate. So what we look for is owners and operators who have a strategy or a platform in real estate and are looking for capital to scale up that strategy. Again, my name is Justin Fishman. Thank you.
James Corbett.
How you doing? My name is James Corbett. I'm actually probably the only civilian that's here, but I am also working with Project Refit. It's a mobile application, a nonprofit that was launched to develop the first social media-like application for veterans and first responders specifically. And we're looking to connect the community in there so that the community can help itself. Thank you.
Hank Gillen.
Morning, everybody. Hank Gillen, U.S. Army retired. I'm the Director of Veteran Services at St. Joseph's University. We support student veterans on our campus. We also teach entrepreneurship. And in that role, we've sponsored the Shark Tank for the last several years. Good referral for me is anybody who's starting out in a business and might want to take advantage of our Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans program. Point it my way, please.
James Young.
Good morning, everybody. James Young, U.S. Air Force. Proud to serve, happy to be here. Thanks for having me. I run my own practice through New York Life. So what I do is I help business owners recruit and retain their top talent, as well as plan their exit strategies and their family financial strategies. So again, a good referral for me is anybody that's looking to make sure that their strategies in place, their business practices are in place, cash on the balance sheet, things like that. If you need any assistance or any planning needs, give me a shout. Again, James Young.
All right, Joey Mack.
Joey's here. I like
Hello, everyone. Joey Mack, United States Marine Corps, world's finest. I'm the CEO for the Mobile Cigar Lounge. We bring the cigar experience to your weddings and private parties. We also added a whiskey and bourbon tasting as well. Our referrals that we need is event planners, restaurants, people to connect to some private events. Referrals we're given. I recently gave one to Nick from Frag for t-shirts. And once again, my name is Joey Mack Dizon, United States Marine Corps, the Mobile Cigar Lounge. We bring the experience to your home. Thank you.
Chanel.
Good morning. Go Army, we beat Navy, 15-0, just saying. Chanel Santiago, U.S. Army. I work for the VA at the Vet Center. A referral for us would be any vet that served in combat or is a survivor of sexual trauma that needs therapy and they want it outside of the VA Medical Center. That's what we do. Or if they need help navigating the VA, you can send them our way. We don't turn people away. We answer the phone. We're actually real people that answer the phone. And I get that all the time. That's why I said that. Hopefully Mike Gabriel is taking care of one of our vets and they can close that deal. I hope. Other than that, happy holidays, everybody. Glad to be here.
Thanks. Nefertiri.
Good morning. My name is Nefertari Strickland, Team Army. I'm host of the Third Lieutenant podcast. It's the first of its kind podcast that focuses on the role that higher education plays in the journey of service members. This month, our guest is a congressional fellow and West Point grad that helps listeners understand the opportunities in higher education scholarship and fellowship programs. In 2021, we're on a mission to identify community partners. Our goal is to amplify those partners' information and message about combating veteran suicide. Nefertari Strickland, and I'll put my information in the chat.
Joy Zwicker.
Good morning, Joyce Wicker, U.S. Navy. Happy holidays, everybody. I am an associate broker, vice president with Berkshire Hathaway, Fox & Roach Realtors in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. I am looking for professionals who are looking to grow their own business and get into the real estate space, which is booming. And I'm happy to connect all of the service providers that are in the housing market with one another. So reach out to me. Thank you.
All right, Doug Amlin.
Good morning, everybody. Doug Amlin, Amlin Analytics. I turn data into dollars. Marine Corporal. I'm looking for Good Referrals, a company that realizes their data can be a differentiator both in the marketplace and for their bottom line. A referral I can give, I have a lot of contacts within the IT industry. If you don't need my services, I know other people you might be able to use, especially within the veteran community. Again, Doug Amlin, Amlin Analytics.
William Keller.
Hey, good morning. My name is Bill Keeler. I'm a former Pennsylvania Army National Guard officer. I'm the founder of a company called Resource Hero, and we provide resource management and time tracking software built natively on the Salesforce.com platform. Referrals that I'm looking for are any company that leverages Salesforce.com who's looking for help with resource management and time tracking. In addition, if you know any veterans or military spouses who are interested in learning more about building a career on the Salesforce technology platform, I'd be happy to help get them connected to learning and certification opportunities. Again, my name is Bill Keeler from Resource Hero.
Eric Moore.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Navy veteran here. I'm a wealth management advisor with Bank of America. Happy to help anyone that has a financial need, and just passionate about connecting and helping veterans and people in the business community. Thanks.
Darren Corder.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry you have to take a drive with me. I'm on the road. Darren Corder, former Navy, former Army National Guard in Delaware. I am the VA lending specialist, AKA the VA loan guy. So Mike Gabriel helps you find the home. I'm the one who helps you find the money. A great referral for me is anyone who wears a uniform or used to wear a uniform and would love to hear an interest rate that starts with the number 2, because that's where we are right now. Darren Corder, the VA loan guy.
Jason Gazakowski, I think.
Yep, you got it. Hey, Jason Gazakowski here. I'm an active duty logistics officer currently stationed at JBMDL, New Jersey. Transitioning from the service after 24 years this coming summer. Looking to make connections within the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network area and South Jersey area. Just looking to see how my skill set can transition after 24 years into the corporate sector. I know I connected with quite a few of you guys already, but just looking to make some more connections and just be part of the strong veterans network here in the area.
All right. George K. I'm not going to try the whole name.
It's George Kuznetsov. Hey, everyone. Former Army Infantry Sergeant. I am a MAPS business coach and a transformational trainer with a company called MAPS Business Coaching. A good referral for me would be anyone who owns a business, primarily veterans. If you're not sure what coaching is, I'll put my information into the chat box. Reach out to me. Let's have a conversation just so you can actually experience what it is. I know some people are like, well, what's all entailed? We'd just love to actually show you what it is as far as that experience. Referrals I've given. I've reached out to a bunch of you guys. I have a lot of your criteria, so you're all in my database. Anyways, George Kuznetsov, reach out.
Jeremy Mock. Jeremy, you there? All right, we'll come back to Jeremy if he comes back. Maddie Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. Maddie Johnson, U.S. Army. I am actually launching a business right after the new year. We'll be in touch with Hank over at SJU, which is right up the street from me, for some guidance. And other than that, I wish everyone the best holiday and much success in 2021.
All right, Dave Debracini.
Hey, Dave Debracini here, Army Scout, financial advisor at Edward Jones. I partner with people to work towards their financial goals. Our strategies are all focused directly on individuals and you. Good referrals are people that are doing recent job changes, maybe just are looking to reevaluate their portfolio. Referrals I've given are people that are generally looking for accountants and looking for other financing needs, such as banking or something of that nature. And again, Dave Debracini.
All right, Eric Moore.
I went already.
All right. So the last one I had was Jeremy Mock, if he's there.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Sorry, I got stuck on mute here for a second. So my company, EGA Associates, we provide healthcare staffing services mainly to the Department of Veterans Affairs. We operate nationwide. A good referral for us is anyone in the healthcare field looking for a contract or potential permanent position with the VA in the healthcare field, or anyone locally who is looking for a position as we continue to grow. We're expanding in recruitment, HR, and logistics support here. So if anyone's interested or has any referrals, please reach out.
Oh, I did skip over Christina.
Good morning, everyone. Happy holidays. Good to be here. I am Chris Katsapis. I serve as the manager of college partnerships with Villanova University's College of Professional Studies, which is the adult learning arm of the university. We offer degree and professional education and certificate programs, as well as corporate and group training opportunities. And as Mike mentioned earlier, we're here to just be an educational resource to you and your families, those looking to further their education. Happy to connect and look forward to continuing to participate. Thank you so much.
All right, and I'm John DiNapoli. I run Spencer Ryan. I do leadership training and development. I'm an Army guy, and a good referral for me is anybody that's looking for a speaker or needing leadership training or management training. Again, John DiNapoli, and that leaves only our speaker, Chris Molaro. Pretty impressive guy. Chris is the co-founder and CEO of NeuroFlow. It's a digital health technology analytics company. And, you know, Chris, pretty impressive stuff that he did after he came out of serving in the Army. He's obviously a U.S. Academy grad at West Point. But then he came out and went and got his MBA at Penn. And while he was there, he worked for one of the big consulting firms and did some amazing things, and realized that there was a big need out there for mental health care, and figured out a way to make it easy for some of these large organizations to let their people access all of the services that were out there. So I'll let Chris go into a little bit of some of the difficulties he had of growing the company, but he's gone from he and his partner to, I think it's, I saw 63 or 65 employees. And now the difficult part for him is, where do I find all these good people to fill all the opportunities that I have? So Chris, the floor is yours.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. And good to be here this morning, everyone. A lot of familiar faces on the call. Hope everyone's doing well. We'll get jumping right into it because, man, NeuroFlow would not be possible if it wasn't for the team that was around us. You know, there's an adage of surrounding yourself with people that are better than you, and there's no better example than that with NeuroFlow, and started with my co-founder and then growing the team where it is today. Hopefully, what we can gather out of this, I mean, I think that this is applicable to everybody on the call, not just entrepreneurs or, you know, people that own their own business, but for the folks that that are a part of a team too. Understanding or, you know, how to build your own team if you're at a bigger company. And so would love to just go into our story, tell you about all the mistakes that I made, and hopefully you don't have to make those same ones, and learn something, learn from my trials and tribulations, share what best practices worked for us, and love to just make this a conversation. So I have the chat up on my screen. So if you want to drop any questions in real time or interrupt me along the way, feel free to do so. So so first, I mean, why is this topic important? Because frankly, especially as an early company, it could make or break your company and your effort. Having someone on the team that's not a good fit skill-wise or background-wise can be the difference between success and not success. Like success, literally failing, it could break your company or your team, especially in the early nascent stages. And frankly, I was taught at business school that as a founder and a CEO, you have 3 jobs. It's fairly straightforward. It's not easy, but it's simple to understand. And you set that vision for the company, you recruit the best people to realize that vision, and then you empower them with the tools and the resources to be able to do their job. So it's just about getting as Jim Collins said in the book, Good to Great, it's about getting the right people in the right seats on the bus and everybody driving in the same direction. And hopefully that's what we gather today after the presentation. So first at NeuroFlow, we have a set of values that are highlighted there on the left, and these will come into I think more play later on in the presentation, you'll see. But these values we've had since it was just Adam Pardis, who's my co-founder, and I. We had these values put into like a glass fixture that we've had hanging on the wall from day one. The thought process is, it doesn't matter if we're 2 employees or 200 employees, we wanted to have a set of standards and values that we espouse and live by every day. And then have worked really, really hard to hold ourselves accountable to those. And so we're really proud of these. These have been one of the craziest moments of the company is when I overheard 2 employees talking. They were practicing a presentation together, and they cited the values to each other. Like one said, communicate openly and often. And it just, I think it was, proof is in the pudding in terms of they were sticking, they were being lived by and espoused by the team itself. And that was, at least a signal that the team was aligned in the way they were operating. And so as a background, today we get to support over 350,000 individuals on the platform across the country. NeuroFlow is a mental health tool for providers. So we work with health systems and payer organizations and government organizations. So the VA hospitals and DoD bases who work with guard units. And right now we're active on 12 Air Force bases, which is normally not a problem, except this is Beat Air Force Week for the Army, for all the Army vets out there. Go Army, Beat Air Force. We have, we're a business to business company though. So the tools that we have are available when you are, when you're invited by an organization that you're a member of. So that's NeuroFlow in a nutshell. And my background, as John alluded, I was an Army vet. Personal story, I lost a soldier who took his own life when we got back from 12-month deployment to Iraq. And we did our investigation after that tragedy in our unit. And we learned that despite being identified to have depression and sleep issues, he was referred to the appropriate care. He was given medication, and 3 months went by, and our investigation showed he never once signed in for his therapy appointments. He never once filled his antidepressants, and never once did anyone in the chain of command or the medical system, so the primary care providers, ever follow up to say, how are you doing? Are you engaging in your care? Is it working? how can we be supportive? And so there's a tremendous gap in care, and that's what drives me every day to do what we do. And when you zoom out, it's not just a veteran issue, it's not just a military issue. This affects civilians alike. Doesn't matter how much money you make, if your gender, where you live in the country. Especially during the pandemic, these are important issues that need to be solved. And I'm proud to have the company and the team around me to help address this. And that team is now, well, we're at 58 full-time employees. It's 65 if you include contractors and so forth. This is not the whole team, as you could, I mean, you and I can both count. But this was the most recent picture we had pre-pandemic. So we've doubled in size since February of last year, or of this year. So less than 11 months ago, and we've been growing quite a bit. But the team didn't always look like this. We weren't 58 since day one. We started in 2016 with my co-founder, Adam. And so this is the first piece that I want to really highlight. And so for anyone out there looking to build your team or looking for that co-founder or that partner in your business, it may be common sense, but it really needs to be, I think, driven home in terms of opposites attract and thrive. So Adam is my co-founder. I met him while I was at Wharton getting my MBA, but he was in his bioengineering PhD program. And just by looks, we're very different. He has a sleeve tattoo. He has gauged earrings. He has longer hair. He's a PhD. He's a fine print type of guy. I'm a big vision type of guy. We are as opposite as opposites come, yet we make a great team. We really do. And so from a different standpoint, we have different strengths. We have certainly different backgrounds. He's not a vet. He comes from a different family background. He has children. I don't have children. Our personalities are a lot different. Like he loves getting in the weeds. So when we have contracts at the company, he loves reviewing them, highlighting them, marking them up. I hate fine print and looking at that stuff. So we really benefit and feed off each other in that way. That being said, we are similar in a lot of ways. We have the same values. We have a certain drive every day. We love coming to work and making the company better and helping lift our team up. We share in our vision of kind of what we want to do and how we want to build the company. And even though our personalities are different, in a lot of ways, our personalities are very similar. And we just, sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is good. And I'm very lucky that I met Adam. I think from an intentional standpoint, if I had to go back and do this again, what I would be looking for very intentionally is somebody that complements my skill sets. Like I did not want another MBA classmate of mine to be my co-founder, just because we bring the same skill sets to the table. And so having that person that is different in a lot of ways, but same in the foundation, I think is really important. And so when you're building your team, it's extremely important to know what stage you are and what you need. So this picture is from 2017. Obviously very early on with employees. This is pre-product, pre-customers, but we were figuring it out. We're having a lot of fun doing it. And you have to understand your first hire is going to look a lot different than your 30th, let's say, or your 100th. And so there's this notion between generalists versus specialists. Sam is employee number one for us. He was a master's in his bioengineering program at Penn. He had no job experience. He had no healthcare experience, but he was really intelligent. He wanted to get dirty. He wanted to get in the weeds and Sam was our first sales guy. He was our first customer success guy. He was our first customer support person. He was our first, he was our admin guy. I mean, he did it all. He wore every hat that you can imagine at the company. He did product management. He even engineered the product in the very, very early stages. And so Sam is a generalist in that regard. And because when we were at that stage, we needed somebody that was just willing to figure it out and get it done for us. Now we're hiring more specialists. So we hire people that are just back end and, computer science engineers, or just health insurance sales executives that have 20, 30 years of experience. And so there's a big difference in hiring that generalist versus that specialist. And you're going to go to different places to find them. So for that generalist, so the question is, where do you find them? So I always get the question of like, how do you find the team? How do you recruit them? And so the answer is different depending on if you need to hire the generalist or the specialist. For the early stage, for the SAMs of the world, there's startup hiring fairs. So go to SJU, Villanova, they all have their startup hiring fairs. I think we're on the hiring boards at those companies. There's a platform called Handshake. There's meetup groups and clubs at the school. So we met a bunch of our early computer science engineers. We would just literally go to the computer science clubs to talk to the undergrad students to say, hey, like, do you want to work on a cool project? And obviously your personal network, so organizations like this, friends, people that you just know and trust. There's a nice platform called AngelList that you can post on that's free to use. And then honestly, just anywhere you could find them. So you want to go anywhere and everywhere. Groups, again, like this, LinkedIn, you're always just recruiting. You're always selling your vision and getting the best people on board. For specialists, it's a little bit different. So you want to use platforms like LinkedIn, Indeed, pay for some job boards, promote it on your company website. Usually when you're later stage, you'll have a more established presence on the web. You can actually pay to do marketing campaigns. We've used recruiters in the past. There's a lot of military veteran recruiters that we use. Pretty proud now that we have 5 vets on the team as full-time employees now, and that's not enough for us. So we want to continue growing the vet presence. Personal network still plays a big role, and then leveraging your existing company network. So we'll ask existing employees, hey, if you're enjoying your time here, if you love the mission, if you love the company, introduce us to your contacts, because if you like them, you're going to also like working with them. So the question then comes to, okay, well, what happens if you build the right team, how do you motivate them, and what do you pay them? And so building a team, you obviously have to incentivize them to stay on the team. And so what we do is we use a lot of data. We use data to understand what is market out there so we can be competitive with the market rate, but also understanding we're an early stage company. We're not a Comcast, so we're not going to compete with Comcast on cash compensation. We can be close, but we could bridge that gap with bonuses. So there's bonuses around, just personal performance, retention bonuses, signing bonus, even milestone-based bonuses. There's commissions, and then there's, especially for early stage companies, there's equity that can come in the form of stock or options or profit sharing. So everybody at NeuroFlow right now has equity in the company. I'm really proud to say that everybody is an owner in the company and is an owner in the mission to make this successful and see that moving forward. So another big thing about then, so you built the team, how do you build the foundation of your culture to manage a team moving forward? Well, I love to say you fake it until you make it. Act like it's it's a major, you're a major company. So you might not be the Comcast size of the world, but you can act like it. And so this is a cool screenshot I took from a calendar invite that we had April 2017. This was when I was still a grad student. I was 2 weeks away from graduating. And we had a 7 a.m. company-wide meeting. You can see there's 12 people, most of which were just interns. And we were running the meeting like we were a company that had been around for a while. So we had onboarding documents. And looking back on it, right, it's like we kind of laugh at it. We're like, oh my God, I can't believe we were doing that. But at the time, we were not treating this like a school project. We were giving it the due justice that we believed that this deserved the attention and the accountability that a real company would. And so we had a process and methodology for not only hiring, but then promotions. We held ourselves accountable. So we were and continue to be obsessed with getting feedback from the team and being humble to say, I could be doing things better. What can I be doing better? And providing that and reciprocating that, providing that honest and candid feedback. Understanding great is the enemy of good. Like, don't be perfect. Just have to move fast. I love the analogy. Another vet CEO told me, he said, look, when you were deployed, you were ambushed, you got hit by an IED. There's no way you're going to come up with a perfect plan on how to execute. You just have to get out of the kill zone, move, and you'll figure it out along the way. And so the same thing when you're building your team is get that person on your team and you'll figure it out. Like, we didn't have, Sam is a perfect example. We didn't have the perfect job title for Sam. We just said, you're the right person to work with us, and we'll figure out what your role is along the way. And it's probably going to change and it's probably going to adjust. But as long as you're in it for the right reasons, the rest will fall into place. Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, has one of my favorite quotes, and that's, if you're not embarrassed by your first product, you've waited too long. And I think the same thing goes for your company, your culture, bringing people on the team. If you're not kind of embarrassed by that first process, by the, Sam was, I think his first business card had director of, and he had like 5 things listed. Like, we look back at that, we laugh at the fact that it seemed like we were figuring things out, which we were, but again, we had the right people on the team to figure that out with us. And so I think that's an important lesson. We have a question in the chat about compensation packages. Well, 2 questions. Family work balance when you get involved with growing your company, and compensation packages. So on the first question related to family work balance, I'm probably not the best person to ask this, because I admittedly need to work on this myself. I mean, with everything there comes a little bit of sacrifice, and I have an extremely supportive spouse who understands and empathizes with that this is my commitment and mission right now, and is supportive of that. I don't have children that I have to care for, and I guess I don't have the best advice for that. If anyone has advice for me, I'm all ears on how to get that balance. In terms of compensation packages, yeah, I think there's there's a lot of different models out there related to equity and market comp. Again, I would use Glassdoor and PayScale because they use actual data and pay reports from companies and titles. So if you're hiring a product manager, you could look up product manager Philadelphia on Glassdoor, and that will tell you the average salary for product managers in Philadelphia, the minimum, the maximum, the range, and you can make sure that you're competitive with the market rate. And then the other thing is just communicating openly with the person that you're trying to hire and say, I would love to give you more cash. I can't right now, but what I can do is I could give you more upside in the company's potential. And if we work our tails off together, we'll both, we'll see that in the end, and we'll make you whole. But right now, like, there has to be an element of you believe in us, right? And there's a trust factor there, a give and take. And so, have we gotten the compensation packages right? Absolutely not. Like, we're learning along the way, but that's kind of the approach that we've taken so far. The last thing I'll end with, and then we'd love to open it up for more Q&A, is, I've really tried to approach, one of our values at the company is constant and holistic self-improvement. And so we started, we have a book club at the company that's optional, and people read can read different books, fictional and nonfiction. And so 5 of the resources that have been really helpful to me in terms of the compensation packages, in terms of building and managing a team, and as you scale that to, doubling a team in 9 months has its own challenges related to it. And so how do you do that? My recommended resources, we just as a team got done reading the 5 dysfunctions of a team, which was awesome. It was really great. The Alliance talks about how to bring on young talent, especially like developers and that sort of thing. So these are 5, in my opinion, must reads if you're building a team, or if you want to join an early team to kind of see what that environment is like. And I just appreciate the opportunity to speak today. Hopefully this was important, or that you learned something. And there's my email. So if anybody wants to keep in touch, I would love to. I love being a part of this community. Alex Archesky has been a huge part of our success from day one, starting the company in Philadelphia. So thanks, Alex, for the opportunity to speak today, and I'd love to take questions.
Hey, Chris, this is Alex. Just a quick question, because I think you hit something that struck me for the company I have, as well as when you look at skill sets, what is it that you needed in the beginning, and what is it that you need today? So, when you grow and you run and you crawl, walk, run, whatever the phases are, how do you know, because anybody can do their job, but how do you know what the temperament is if they can work with a young entrepreneurship organization, when you talk about specialists all the way to what you need today? So can you elaborate on what you learned over time and the skill sets that you need? Or has it changed, or has it remained the same, soft skills and all that?
Yeah, I think at the beginning we really needed people that were curious more than anything else, and were willing to test things out, and didn't necessarily know everything, but wanted to figure it out along the way. And so experience wasn't necessarily important. In fact, I think lack of experience played to our benefit in that case, since they didn't come to the table with a certain amount of biases. So, Adam, Sam, and myself, when we were still students, we had no healthcare background or experience. And so when we were developing our hypotheses to test, talking to early customers, we were doing so with kind of a blank slate, and knew where we needed to get to that next stage, but we're able to do so without, with kind of the naivete that allowed us to be creative and innovative. Today, we have that foundational product and customer base built, that now we're just trying to scale and, go from, we took it from 0 to 1. Now we're trying to get it from 1 to 10 sort of thing. And the way that we do that is by getting people that had that experience, that are more experienced in building processes that can really accelerate what we're doing. And so the people that we're bringing on today are in a lot of ways, similar background and mentality, again, like same value structure, mission-driven, impact-oriented people, but have more experience in the specificity of the healthcare market. And that, I think that's been the biggest shift for us.
I appreciate that.
Hey, Chris, how do you guys know when you're growing at the right speed and you're bringing on people at the right level, and when you feel like you're going too fast?
Again, I don't think that the real answer, John, is that you don't really know. And so it's just like, I think when you're running an operation in the military, is that you think that you're headed in the general direction, right? You're shooting an azimuth, and then you're walking 100 paces, then you pause and you do an azimuth check to make sure that you're on the right path. And it's the same thing when growing the company. So we're constantly, we work in sprints. I mean, literally the development engineering team calls them sprints. So it's 2-week sprints where then we are able to stop and look at where the progress that we just made and see, okay, are we growing in the right way? Do we need to make adjustments? Where are those gaps that we have? There's a great lesson learned in terms of hire really slow. So don't, if we think we need a director of finance, don't just go out and hire a director of finance tomorrow. Really ask the question, why? What is that person going to do for you? Make sure that you're hiring a lot of people, putting them through a process, and then make sure that you don't have the resources on the team to be able to do what they're doing, right? So that you're not duplicating efforts unnecessarily. The biggest resources for you is that capital and time. And so you don't want to waste either of those. So I think John, it's just about doing an azimuth check and adjusting along the way.
Chris, I can hear and even see themes across your organization and your nonprofit, just from a quick Google search, that leverages reading and learning as a team building technique. Are there other techniques you were able to bridge from your military experience as a founder or to your venture as a founder?
Well, I think, so it's funny. I think veterans are, for a lot of reasons, make great entrepreneurs, leaders of teams, whether it's a CEO or a manager or just a team leader, because of the skill sets are so overlapping. I mean, being a part of a team in the Army, being a part of a team or the Navy or Marine Corps, and being a part of a startup are like 90% the same thing. You're not in combat, you're in your boardroom, right? And you're figuring that stuff out. And so we've done a lot of team building exercises. We'll do after action reviews after every single sales meeting, and we'll give each other actionable feedback and tough feedback too. People will say, Chris, it seemed like you weren't really prepared for that meeting. And having the humility to take that in, to acknowledge that, and then to adjust moving forward has been a key tenet to our success.
All right. Does anybody else have anything for Chris?
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the opportunity. We'd love to keep in touch.
Thanks for spending a little time with us this morning. I think it's really helpful for people to hear somebody that's a success and some of the reasons that you were successful in building your team. So we appreciate you coming in this morning, and hope we'll see you again on some of these calls in the future. I know that everybody's got starting to get some messages that they need to jump, so we'll wrap this up. Before we do that, I know Alex wants to have a couple of words as we end the year. Alex.
So first of all, yeah, thanks, John. First of all, thank you, John, for your leadership to lead our Veteran Business Referral Network. As everybody's seen, we've grown over the last 3 years for our mission to really collaborate and do business with each other and grow the relationship. Our mission is for the economic success of our veterans. There's no better way to step up our game than kind of hear what Chris said today. And I think in about how do you evolve personally, professionally, as a business. So take note of everything of our speakers, especially Chris today. Building a team is, there's a reason why small companies are small companies in the United States. A lot of people hate managing and leading. So embrace it and good things will come. So thanks, Chris, for your leadership, for leading from the front. And if you haven't Googled Chris, I would definitely do that. He's not only we're honored to have him as our 2016 Veteran Shark Tank winner. So there's a lot of history there, but at the same time, he's been at South by Southwest speaking nationally, works with the United States Air Force. So he is one of the top veterans in our city, representing the flag of Philadelphia, unfortunately with the other branch of the service. And, but it's still great that he does amazing stuff. So keep tracking his progress, help his company out. We can only give back to our speakers. And then on the flip side, I want to kind of announce a really quick thing that everybody should really try to attend. So everybody knows our own Erica Webster, right? She's been great. She's been a board member. She's got one of the best brands out there in the veteran space. So we are doing a pre-holiday workout next week. And the reason why we're doing it, because we need to get off our lazy butt. But the main reason why we're doing it is her business has been shut down because of COVID. So if you think about supporting our own, there are things that we can't control, and COVID has affected a lot of small businesses, just like Joey Mack that's on this call. He's an event business. We got to look out for each other. So what we're doing is we're doing a virtual workout, but be ready because she knows how to kick butt. And at the same time, it's $25, register, share with your network, and 100% of the proceeds will go to Dub Fitness to support them during the holidays. So let's make sure to share this with our network. Let's make sure to register. She's a big part of our family, and we need to support the businesses that have been affected during COVID that are part of the veteran network. So make sure to register. Make sure to buy cigars from Joey Mack online for friends and family for the holidays. You know, make sure you support those businesses that are affected during COVID and look into them, reach out to us. We'll let you know. So that's it. Everybody, listen, crush it in 2021. A fantastic job this year. And then, you know, talk about reaching your goals and setting expectations higher next year. So thanks, everybody.
And thanks, Alex. And, you know, thank you and Ashley for all you do to make this thing work and moving it over to New Jersey this year. I know it's been a big pain in the neck, but I think it's paid some dividends and enabled us to broaden our network. So hopefully we'll continue to do more of that in the new year, and we'll get back to seeing everybody in person. So have a great holiday, and we'll see you in January.
Bye, everybody.